They need heat. They got a wood burning stove, poultry, but it's like the circle of life. What do you do?
Able to survive cold weather environments.
Gear. You got to get good gear. Don't skimp on your like Under Armour or anything like that. Get the cold proof, even if the leggings are like $70, or get wool leggings. All that. Don't skimp money on your gear. You depend on it. So if you're making money and your family depends on you being out there, you can't be miserable. You can't be huddled around. You got to spend money on your gear, because that's what keeps you going through the cold weather. That's it. Coming back from South Dakota, nice blizzard, and then everything went just quiet. Squirrel lost traction, and I went completely sideways on the highway. And then I brought it back, and it went completely sideways again. And then I brought it back, and it went sideways again. I did that 4 times, and then it started getting smaller. No one is coming. Best drift story ever. That was probably the best claim to fame. That's when he was younger, still agile. I'd probably lose it these days. My brother Johnny, he's an electrical engineer. My brother, he's been part of our family for years. Met him in Walmart. We were part of the Walmart crew. We did the Walmart cheer and all that every morning. And for some reason, he's always been around. Probably one of the best men I've ever met. Great father, beautiful husband. One of my best friends ever. Very interesting man.
Can you tell the people more about what the podcast is about, like from your perspective?
Right. Well, I think what is happening since you had Vinny on, it's a little bit more wilding out. There's a lot more, heartfelt questions about, like, what do you do? How do you get by in life? And that's what I really like about you. It's like you're always curious about, well, how do you do? How do you get better? And I think your podcast is evolving into kind of like how should one's lifestyle be to have like some kind of contentment? We're all in the grind, and I think you just want people to hear just entertaining stories and understand that, like, good people are out there. How do you find them? People have certain speech patterns and how they act and how they talk, and I think that's what you're trying to show the people that you love and support. And how do you find good people, and how good it makes you feel to surround yourself with them, and then how good it makes us feel with just having somebody of your caliber, of your heart, and your honor. You're a very honorable, loving guy, and it's such an honor to have you ask us these questions, because honestly, we think, like, well, who are we? We're nobody. We're just, Tyler's uncle, dad, stepfather. We're nobody. But then to have you on us and put us on some type of platform to send it out to the masses, to let people know, good relationships can happen, and just be good and beautiful to each other. That's it. I don't know what else to say. Just, I'm a no-quitter from way back, and every day's school day. That's it. Stay strong, learn something every day, and every day you just start being better than you were the day before. If you go backwards, it's all right. Just don't stay there. You got to move. It's kind of like life is like a burning building. You can't stay there. You got to move. You got to move. You got to move. You got to move. I was growing up, raised up really religious. Honestly, one of the first things I would say is, like, at least reach for a higher power. I would say reach for God. Others say would reach for, somebody else. Let's just say there has to be some kind of spirituality in you. You have to understand that, you do things like you are being watched, like you are on camera, and you have to live your life like that. Like, of course, it's like the camera's on you when you're flipping a driver off or cutting you off or something like that. That's not what I'm trying to say. It's like, you could fail, and you can fail. Like I said, it's the moving forward. It's when you start feeling bad, ask for higher power, ask for strength. And if you don't believe in that, at least ask ask a family member, ask a friend. You gotta talk it out. Mental health is not something to be ashamed of. If you catch a cold, fine. If you catch depression, that's bad. No, it's not. How do you get out of the depression? What is causing your depression? You really have to ask yourself a lot of questions, like, why do I feel so low? What is it I'm missing? What is it I'm not doing? Or what is it I'm overdoing? You just have to really be honest with yourself. And so there you go. Honesty. You got to be honest with yourself, and you got to be willing to learn. You got to be willing to move forward, because it's worth it. It truly is. You got to be honest with yourself. You got to understand who you are. You have to know your strengths, and you have to know your weaknesses. It's kind of like if you go to the gym and you're just a curl guy. Well, of course you got huge biceps. Yeah. What about your try? You got to work your strengths and your weaknesses. And so it comes back to honesty again. Stop lying to yourself. Be honest, and just understand that being a good person starts with being honest with yourself.
For double overtime for the win.
All right.
Listen, there's been people that special ask for requests of getting your advice and of life lessons. You know what I mean? So what are those people that actually look up to you and they haven't had the opportunity to say that themselves, but then I'm the metaphor of saying it for them.
You're the conduit.
Conduit through it.
Well, I guess I need to maybe get into comments, and I could put myself in as the true Lester, and if they want to know a question, maybe I just need to start getting a little more involved with you, and not just do the talking, but actually, maybe help you out with some comments and help try to build a fan base. Because if somebody needs help and I can help them, I find that odd, because there's better mentors out there, I promise you. But I feel honored. Final words of the pod is I love working. I love taking care of my family. I love you. I love you guys. Anybody who has positivity in their heart and they move forward, those are the people I want to surround myself with. And, like this tree, it was a nice tree, but, it just got a little rotten, a little old, and it had to go. So I would say don't be an old tree that gets all rotten. Try to stay strong. Don't let your core just rot where you just fall over in a storm or something. It was a good tree, but it was sick. And then the elements took it down, so don't be that. That's what I would say.
There it is. We got Les on the third time, and he's been a special guest on the fourth. So you know what? I'm trying to bring heat. You guys asked for a request, and that's how it is. Episode 26.